So now that we've talked about handling objections, let's talk about actually conducting negotiation session. Some golden rules. First of all, understand the problem and understand the reason for the objection or for the hesitance in the buying process. Create alternative solutions. Negotiating means that you're going to give and take. You're going to give a little bit, you're going to take a little bit. You're going to create alternative solutions so that you can provide that give and take. Acknowledge the point that you agreed upon so far and talk about what's keeping us apart. There's a lot to be said about direct communication about why can't we do business today? What is holding us back? At that point in time, the buyer should give you their concerns. Maybe they need to talk to their boss or they're a little hesitant for some reason or another. Based upon that, then you've got a starting point and you can start negotiation from there. Don't make concessions too quickly, especially in price. When someone says your price is too high, the first thing they want to do is give them a discount. That's not what I do. The first thing I do is talk about the agreed upon benefits. Never make a concession too quickly because it looks like your product or service is not worth what you just asked for. If you said that the product was $600 and he says that price is too high and you say, well, I could give it to you for $500. If I'm the buyer, I'm thinking, well, why didn't you offer $500 in the first place? What, were you trying to gouge me for the extra $100? If you make concessions too quickly, it shows that you're asking too much for your product and it cheapens your product and it lessens the value. Do not make concessions too quickly. Remember, most negotiations will conclude in the final 20% of the time allowed. So you're going to, if you've got an hour to negotiate, you're going to be talking about it, but usually within 20 minutes of that hour is when you're going to strike your deal. Therefore, what I've tried to do is I've tried to shorten the time of negotiation. Instead of meeting for an hour, let's meet for a half hour. And then again, know when to walk away. Always make sure that you know when to walk away. So, negotiating across cultures, this is not an international sales class. If you want an international sales class, you can take my undergraduate international sales. But it's important to understand the different culture that you're negotiating, in which you're negotiating, and some of their colloquialisms and some of their habits and some of the ways in which they do negotiate. So, understanding the buyer concerns. We talked about a little bit about this when we talked about the handling negotiation. But really there's 5 common types of buyer concerns. 1, related to the need for your product. The way you handle that is you go back to the agreed upon benefits that you've done in your presentation. If in fact you do a good needs discovery, number 1 never comes up. Concerns about the product or service. A drawback. As I said before, if there's a drawback, again, go back to the agreed upon benefits and make sure that you show the buyer that the agreed upon benefit outweighs the drawback and close again. Concerns related to the source. I don't trust your company. In that particular case, you can give testimonials, you can give demonstrations, you can give plant tours, you can give any type of documentation that shows that your source is reliable and trustworthy. Concerns related to time. I need more time to think about it. I have to talk to my boss. Remember, during that time, the problem that you've uncovered during your needs discovery does not go away. That problem continues to have the implication that you've already gotten during spin selling, continues to have that implication. So the longer they delay, the more money, time, customers, employee satisfaction they're going to lose. And then concerns related about price, again, go back to the agreed upon benefits, the benefits outweigh the price, and close again. If you'll notice, throughout this entire negotiation module, it all goes back to that needs discovery. That's why the needs discovery portion, the step 2, the spin selling that I've been teaching you, is so important. If you do a good job on that, then all of these objections you can overcome. But if you walk into a prospect's office and you immediately start with the presentation, you haven't gotten out any needs, you haven't gotten out any problems, you haven't gotten out any concerns, and it's easy for the buyer to say, I'm happy with what I've got, I don't need it, I need more time, your price is too high, etc. That's why I continue to say it's absolutely critical to do that needs discovery portion. So methods of negotiating buyer's concern. There's a couple slides on this. First of all, direct denial. Don't ever say you're wrong. I don't like that. What I like is I like to agree. I can see why you think that way because many of our competitors are that way. And then acknowledge the concern and then go back to the benefits already agreed upon. That's the way I like to do it. I always like to show empathy. I never like to say you're wrong, our price isn't too high. You can say, I understand where your concerns are, that you might think our price is too high. However, we've agreed upon this, this, and this. So that's really, really important. Also, questioning, why do you think? I can understand why you would think that way, but tell me, where are you right now? What are you thinking? Again, superior benefits, I've hammered that home. Demonstrations, that's when you go about source. Again, third party, testimonials are extremely important. People like to buy what other people have bought. And the postpone method, where they want to think about it, I don't like to do that. But if you have to do that, if they have to want to think about it, make sure you schedule a follow-up appointment within a very short period of time. When we talk about consultative selling, we talk about empathy and empathizing with the customer, empathizing with the customer's problem that you've uncovered, empathizing with the customer's goals, and also empathizing with the customer's concern around the negotiation. I like the feel, felt, found strategy. Expressing concerns, I understand how you would feel. I understand how that you could feel that way. I really like the feel, felt, found. Many customers have found that when they've done business with us. It makes it a lot easier, and it also shows empathy. And then, of course, we talked about price objections. You are always going to get a price objection. Always. Even if you're the lowest price competitor, even if you're the lowest price amongst your competitor, you're going to get a price objection. It costs too much. Again, it all goes back to the agreed upon benefits. And if you've done your needs discovery, you've made a good presentation, you've done benefits as well as features as well as the benefits in order to solve that problem, price usually is not a concern. So here's some review questions to allow that you've gotten what you need to get out of this module. And here's the rest of the review questions. This concludes the 4th part of our selling process step. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in class.